Hey family, it's Tasha, Mom Bear Prepping. It's a little bit later in the day and we're gonna just get into this video about water and certain situations that are happening around the country that could possibly give you pause for concern, right? Things that we should be watching, no need to panic. I did a whole series on water preservation about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And the whole entire week was over water, right? How to filter water, boil water, make it safe to drink, store it, collect it, all of that stuff, things to buy. Water is very, very important, you know, full spectrum. He did a video the other day and he was speaking about somebody who had told him, a contact who had told him, hey, get water, get water, get water. Concentrate on water, even before food, right? And that's pretty scary on its face, like food or water before food. But I'm big on water, and I would almost say that's true, okay? Because water is one of those things that, one, we're already running out of water. We have drought situations. We have this climate change situation. Water is a big deal. You have to have it to live. Now, you need food too, but you can go much longer without food. And food, there's still plentiful food available on the planet, okay? Yes, we're running into a supply issue. Yes, we're running into farming issues. Yes, we're running into whether that's exporting, importing, everybody's having an issue growing stuff, fertilizer issue, whatever the case may be, right? Less yield of crops. We are going into a situation where food is going to be an issue. And that's why we've been hitting so hard on food. Get food into your home, preserve food, figure out how to, grow your own food. So don't take away from the fact of how important food is. But there's a lot of water crises that have been happening. Over the years, we've had a few cyber type attacks that did not get through. Thankfully, people caught them. Water supply systems that were attacked, a small scale, and they were rectified, right? Not a lot of coverage on the news, but if you can look for them, they've happened in different states. More recently, we've had breakdown of infrastructure. Now, we've talked about this a lot on this channel about the importance of preparing for the day that our infrastructure fails, okay? We do not spend enough money on our infrastructure, whether that's the power grid, the sewer systems, the water systems, whatever it is, bridges, roads, that whole infrastructure, we just don't spend enough money on it. We just don't care, okay? And so because we don't care, it's just a matter of time before these things break. And that is what's happening. You are seeing catastrophic failure. And the thing is, it's making news, right? But it's just such small pockets, right? A town, something happening to a town or even a few towns in a state just doesn't grab people's attention, right? I think that it grabbed people's attention. Like, what? They can't get water in Mississippi? What? This whole town has no access to water, right? And then it's a boil situation. Because for a minute there, they couldn't get water at all. And then they got water and it was boiled. Now that's been lifted, but they went 40 days, you guys. I don't know if you realize how long that was. That was 40 days that situation lasted. Ask yourself right now, those of you that watch me and prepare right now, it's 2 gallons. My personal recommendation is 2 gallons per person per day. Okay, that should be enough for your cooking and yourself to keep yourself hygiene and keep clean. Okay, a lot of sources out there will tell you 1 gallon per person. That's just not enough. Okay, and yes, you can sort this out by, your potable water and your non-potable water, right? What you're going to be using for, say, doing dishes and doing laundry and getting clean, vice, the stuff that you're using, that you're drinking, right? And remember, pets and livestock, right? They drink a lot of water, okay? And so that too includes them. 2 gallons per pet per day. 2 gallons per person per day, okay? That should be enough to cover down. If you are uncertain about what I'm saying in regards to how much water a person uses in a day, just go a day without using your water, right? Don't use it at all. Don't use it to take a shower. Don't use it to cook. Don't use it to do anything, right? Clean, drink, anything, right? And just take your bottled waters and see how long that lasts per day. Okay, you really need to do the calculation. They went 40 days. Do you have 40 days worth of water in your home right now? For you and your family, for the size of your family. Do the calculation. A lot of people, even preppers, do not have even nearly close enough to the amount of water that they need to get them through a crisis. Even people who prepare will be in those water lines trying to get cases of water or trying to go to a water bowl and fill up, their stew pot with water, okay? It's a very serious deal. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to stand in line for 12 hours for a pot of water, okay? To take home. I don't want that. I don't want to stay. I don't care if you're in a line in your car and you're comfortable and you're sitting down. Nobody wants to do that for even 5-6 hours to get a case of water, okay? It's just not feasible. It's not cool. And you can prepare now so that your family doesn't have to go through something like that, right? This is more than just cases of water in your home, right? I talk to a lot of people, even friends, acquaintances about water, the importance of water, and, oh, we have a couple cases of emergency water. Like, that's not going to get it done at the end of the day, okay? The cases, you could have 10 cases of water. It's just not going to get it done at the end of the day, and it's not feasible. You need to have containers that are bigger size, that are full of water, okay? Figure out your situation, figure out where you can have them, and get that water in your home. If you have an apartment, okay, yes, you have to do this in smaller batches, right? Do this with 3.5 gallon stackables or 5 gallon stackables, whatever you can physically move around, okay? Those 5 gallons are pretty heavy, okay? But get your stackable options. You've got to get water, okay? And it's options. I'm not saying don't get bottled water. Get bottled water. I get bottled water, okay? But I also get gallon waters. I get water, distilled water for the CPAP. I have tons of containers. I have 3.5 containers. I have 5 gallon containers. We have 55 drums. We have rain barrels, rain catchment. You need to think about this whole thing. And if you didn't catch my water series, you've got to do that. Look in the description box below. I'm going to put in a link to all the videos for that whole entire week, okay? I'm also going to link the tech medical tech manual that has the 2 pages 163 to 166, that has all the calculations for adding, whether it's chlorine, whether it's calcium hypochlorite, whether it's sodium hypochlorite, whatever you're using to treat your water, calculations, okay? The percentage of that you need to have if you're getting stuff like pool shock. You need to think this stuff through. You need to think about sourcing water. Where could you get water? Depending on what happens, sourcing water becomes very, very dangerous if we're in a situation of illness and a lot of death, right? Because water is easily contaminated, okay? Not only do you need to prep the things to collect water, boil water, filter water, treat water, store water, right? Long-term storage of water, resourcing of water. You need to stack that stuff, right? But you also need to stack and prepare and get the holistic options for when you're sick, when you get contaminated water, okay? You don't do the things you're supposed to do to make it safe and you get sick. What can you do to treat yourself? Get you your antibiotics, your JASE case. Look in the description box below. I've got the link so that you can get a discount for the antibiotics case, right? Very easy process to get that antibiotics, and it's in your home, okay? And my case has one of the major antibiotics that a doctor would give you if you had a stomach flu, if you had contaminated water and you had to be treated, right? You had parasites, whatever, okay? You need to get this stuff in your homes and prepare. If that's not your thing, or you don't have the money for that, because that is kind of expensive, think about your holistic options. Know what plants you have around you in your home, outside, what's growing, plant stuff that is helpful for that, fighting that type of stuff, because this is important, okay? And it's almost, I would agree, almost more important than food, right? We are going to have water wars one day where this world is fighting for water. The people who control the food and water control the people. We always talk about that in the sense of food. Whoever controls the food controls the people. But water is no joke. Like, you have to have that, okay? You do not have water in your system within 24 hours to start shutting down. So take a look at those videos. Please, please, please take notes, right? And get the things that are needed so that you're not running into this. New York. Okay, so New York's been talking about, and Mississippi, polio, right, in the water. Nothing to get major, right? Wasn't a whole lot, but still something to just take note of, right, that they had that issue. But then more recently, over the last week or so, they've had issues with huge building complexes, like 3,800, residents we're talking about. With arsenic, they found toxic arsenic in the water. Okay, really big deal. People could see that the water was bad. You can watch on TikTok, everything. The water coming out was brown. There was no denying something was wrong with the water. And what's crazy is they've been making complaints about the water, about the taste of the water, about the color of the water for a long time, and nobody was paying attention. And finally some tests were done and arsenic was found. Okay, arsenic causes cancers, causes low IQs, and this is like the hood. Like, this is not cool, right? It just starts making your mind go to evil places, right? That evil things that people do to people, right? Now I believe that they've done tests and it's the levels are back to normal. I don't know if they've actually given them the green light yet on those buildings in New York. The Reese house, those buildings, the Reese buildings. I'm not sure the status if they're able to drink that water or not. But let me tell you, I'm not trusting none of that stuff. I've got my testers. I'm doing full tests. I'm doing the full treatment. And if I live there, I'm doing the full treatment anyway. I had a subscriber tell me she went through a boil notice, I don't know, a month ago, 2 months ago, right? I think she was in Michigan, had a boil notice, did that. Once she got used to filtering her water, boiling her water, treating her water, she does it every single day. She didn't go back. So once that boil notice was lifted, right, it's part of her every day now, right? So there was no going back to just drinking the tap water. No. She does not do that anymore. And she's like, and it's very easy. The process of making water safe to drink is not that hard once you have the things that you need. And then she just continued to do it. And she's not going to trust these systems because the chance of the infrastructure breaking and failing is high. And these are just a couple examples, okay? This is going to continue to happen all over the country. And so you've got to prepare now of what you're going to do when. It's not if, it's when it happens to you and your family and where you're at. And this can happen for different things. You can have a water main break. Somebody could hit a tree, hit a building, whatever. Pipes break, right? Natural disasters, right? Hurricanes, storms, right? Pipes break and that water's contaminated. Other stuff, weatherizing. We're about to go into a brutal winter. It's about to be cold, cold, cold. I can tell already. And people are going to be having pipes breaking, freezing and breaking all over the place. Okay. And then now you have contaminated water. You really just have to prepare in the best way you can, but water, you need to really think about that and think about it on the sense of how much do you want in your home to make you feel comfortable, right? Who cares what I tell you? Oh, you got to have 6 months, you got to have a year. No, what's comfortable for you and what can you physically do? Because some people live in a place where you only have so much space. So do the calculation, figure out how much you can store for the amount of people in your home and the time. Is it a month's worth? Is it 3 months worth? What is the amount that you can physically hold in your home, on your property, for you and your family, your size? And do not forget your livestock, your pets, your animals, all of them. They drink water. We have animals that stay outside. I have a cat stays out all the time. Okay. So she's getting stuff from everywhere, water sources, whatever. But I still keep that water bowl full, right, for her, and she comes and she drinks out of it, right? So it's just very, very important to think about all your animals, no matter what, whatever makes your family unique, and ensure that you're thinking about that and getting the things matters too, because what happens if you drag your feet, and then you don't get, the treatment stuff, you don't get the bleach, you don't get your calcium hypochlorite, you don't get the things to be able to treat your water and make it safe to drink, purification tabs, whatever, right? And you don't get that stuff, or you don't get a filter. Yes, could you make a homemade filter? Absolutely. Okay. But again, if you haven't taught yourself that, if you have no idea how to do that from natural resources, then you're just guessing. You're just trying to figure it out on your own, okay? From the little bit of knowledge that you might know, that you saw something somewhere. So you got to teach yourself this stuff now, right? How could you do this out in the wild? How could you do this in your home? And what things do you need to make that easier? The testers, we have several testers, which I talked about in those videos. Which ones test your water to figure out the different levels. Do you have too much chlorine? Do you have enough chlorine? All these things matter, okay? I'm not saying you can't make it without these things. But boy, you are taking a big chance on not having the ability to test your water, treat your water, boil it, filter it, and then have the knowledge to then source it from different places and then make it safe. That's huge, huge piece of this, okay? You have people that are going to be roaming and all over, and they're going to see water and they're going to be like, boom, they're so thirsty. They know they're going to die without it, and they're just going to drink it, and it's going to be contaminated. And they're either not going to care, or they don't know that it's contaminated. Like, they don't know that they need to make it safe to drink. They just assume that it's safe to drink. And that's going to be a literal killer. And it's heartbreaking because people are not going to know, or they're just going to be so thirsty that they're just going to take the chance. And then furthermore, they're not going to know, what happens when they don't know how to treat themselves to hopefully try to make themselves better if they do catch something, right? They do get ill, right? So, the way we're going with this stuff, we know a pandemic's coming. We know crazy hard times are coming, and water is going to be in the middle of that. Water, to me too, is the number one thing that an enemy has to do to get at us. It's so easy to get to. It's so much access. It's easy to contaminate. And so if you have an enemy that wants to take you down at whatever point, the water system really brings somebody to their knees. And so to me, that's why I don't trust it, because it's so open and such a vulnerable source that can easily, be contaminated, whether that's bioterrorism, whether that's something simple, right? We're just going to mess with the chlorine levels. It's serious business. Okay. Again, maybe that's me. I just don't trust anybody, but I just don't trust anything. And so we're going to operate on that forever. Okay. So I hope you guys are well. I woke up, I was looking at some news articles. I saw that the thing was lifted for Mississippi for the water, their boil notice. And so I just kind of wanted to speak on it. I know I've talked a lot about water lately with the videos. Please make sure you check them out. At a minimum, check out this video that's at the end of this video on the end credits. Check that video out if it's not one that you saw. And just really get ahead of this and make yourself do the math and the calculations to tell yourself right now, black and white, how many days of water do you have in your home for you and your family? How long will it last? Is it a week? Is it 2 weeks? Is it 3 months? How much water do you have? And then get on it. All right. So I'll see you guys. I hope you guys have a blessed weekend, and I'll see you guys Monday on the next video. Take care. Bye.